Welcome back to The Five. And as Bob can tell you from personal experience, once you've wronged a woman, it is very hard to win them back. So this next story may result in President Obama whining and dining females all across the country. Pick up that check. All right, well, take a look at this Gallup poll. President Obama's approval has hit an all-time low with women. Only 41% now approve of the job he's doing. That compares to an all-time high of 70% approval that he had when he first came into office. That's a substantial drop, Bob. How do you explain it?
It's the most worrisome number I've seen for Obama so far. Some of these other numbers will all change, but this one has got to change because, look, with the exception of the Johnson election, Democrats have always lost the white male voter to everybody, and they've been pulled over the top by females. That's been the case in every election. If that doesn't happen, I think Obama's going to have a real problem. So he's going to have to whine and dine. He's going to do a lot of whining and dining because these numbers scare me.
That's the problem, though. He's going to whine and dine us with our own money.
With our own money. But Greenspan said we can just print more money.
He's got to show his abs.
He goes,
he needs to show his abs.
Oh, my God.
Right.
Here's the thing. You know, I agree with Bob. This is huge because basically what this is it's like the shiny new boyfriend that opens the door, buys you dinner, and over time he ends up sitting on the couch eating your food. Women have come to realize that. They're idealistic in the beginning, but then they start to sober up. They're going, this guy isn't good for me. And women control the purse strings, which is why last year it was a Quinnipiac poll showed that there were more women in the Tea Party than men. Maybe that's where the women are going, Bob. Maybe that's where they are.
Could I just interrupt for a second? Could somebody bring me a cough drop out there? Thanks. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay.
No,
absolutely.
He's done very well with the women. He's done very well with young people, and it's moving. We did a story last week about the black vote is actually starting to be disillusioned because the numbers showed us today. Still almost 17% of African Americans.
But I think that African Americans are not going to break from Obama at the end of the day. I do think, as you said, Greg, though, women control the purse strings. Women are the caretakers. They're taking care of their parents, so health care is a big worry of them. And they're looking at the budgets back, looking at all the things they got to pay for. A lot of women have had to go back to work that are raising kids because of this economy. Their husbands have been laid off. So, yeah, I mean, this is
big purchasing
he won them
decisions.
56-43. That was a huge margin.
Let's keep this in mind. They also are traditionally Democratic, and particularly suburban women who came that way in the last decade, which was a big change. Used to be suburban women were Republican. Now, the threat of a Republican House and Senate, and the Senate is very real, and a White House, I think is going to drive all the base Democratic votes back. Now, if it can bring enough women back is really the question as far as I'm concerned. And the key to that is going to be not just the suburban voters, but ex-urban voters, the next ring out, which have been breaking to the Democrats, broke to Obama. The question is, will they continue to break that way? I don't know. Young people will. The problem with young people is going to be they're going to vote for Obama. They're just going to turn out in the numbers they turned out.
You know why they won't break? Because they're broke already.
That's very good. What a play on words that was.
They don't like the gridlock, and I can tell you what they probably don't like is the political stunts from this past week, the spectacle over the speech and the Boehner back and forth with Obama and Obama trying to step on the GOP debate. Women don't like that. They want results. They're tired of this. They're like, talk is just ego
contest.
Do they
just go blindly and vote, Bob? I mean, look at here we are, 9.1% unemployment for the above 9% for 5 months in a row. At some point, you got to go. Okay, I know I voted for the guy, but enough is enough.
Yeah, but there's a lot of vote for either Bachmann or Perry or Mitto.
But there's some really appealing females on the conservative side, and women are identifying with that as well.
Can we talk about NASCAR for a second?
There's about 3 or 4.
Wait, but you want to talk about NASCAR?
I want to talk about NASCAR because talk about losing support. They're driving away. Even NASCAR, they don't want to even go to the White House, which is kind of unbelievable. You don't want to go see the president. But Obama's supposed to honor NASCAR champion Jimmy Johnson and 11 other drivers from last year in a special White House ceremony on Wednesday. But nearly half of the 2010 playoff contenders are actually not going to even show up. They're a no-show. They've declined the invitation. Bob, I can tell you're really disturbed by this.
Well, NASCAR got started with moonshiners driving down hills. That's true. That's where racing started.
That was Duke's
Let me just say this. Where the White House made a fundamental mistake. They advertised the fact that they were not going to have R.C. Cole and moon pies there, and that drove everybody away.
This is like inviting the cast of Glee to Michelle Bachmann's house. Just half of the people aren't going to want to go.
That's a perfect analogy. We must end it on that note. All right, well, coming up, yesterday we talked, exactly.
That TV show.
We talked about how Mitt Romney might benefit from Michelle Bachmann. But some say Rick Perry could also potentially benefit from her campaign decisions. That's all coming up next in our 2012 Roundup.